Okay. Yeah, that's going. Good. Yeah. We're good. We're going. We've got it. I can do social media. Hi. Oh, I just washed that. Now I got lipstick all over it. Damn it. Hi. Okay. Get all of this set up. Then we're going to do the swords, the pentacles, and we'll finish on the wands, and that will be a nice, easy peasy wrap up. Hi. Hi. Sorry, Wi-Fi freaked out for a second, but we're good. We're back. We're in it. Good afternoon, guys. Hi. So, we're just going to kind of jump into it because it's the same thing I do every week. I just kind of jump into it. So, last week we did the 3s. This week, we're going to start touching on the 4s. We're definitely going to finish it. And then we will, we'll do the 5s next week because that's how you count from 1 to 10. So, as always, whenever I start with the minor arcana, for anyone who, is new or, this is your first tarot class or you're not used to it, whatever. Just so everyone kind of knows how we do things here and how it works, I think the easiest way to best understand the minor arcana is to break it up into 2 different sections, the numerology and the suit. That way, if you're still like a little iffy, a little wishy-washy on like the actual meaning of the card because you're still learning, this will kind of be like a cheat code. It like makes it a little easier. So why we kind of work with this is because all of like the aces, all the 2s, all the 3s, all of them, they're all going to have a thread of similarity going between all of them because they're all ruled by the same number in numerology, right? So, 1 is all about opportunity. So all of the aces are opportunities. They're different types of opportunities depending on your suit, but they're all going to be opportunities. Why? Because they're all ruled by ace, which is the 1. So, if you're still not quite used to what the Ace of Pentacles might mean, let's say, if you know that the aces symbolize opportunity, and if you know that the pentacles symbolize money and wealth and job and career, you can kind of put the pieces together and you would be right. You'd have a pretty accurate picture of like the first surface level information of what this card is and what it means. So, like I said, we go into the numerology and then we go into the suits. So, the suits, obviously we have 4 of them. There's the cups, the swords, the pentacles, the wands. They're all associated with different things. The cups are our emotions. There are water signs. There are feelings, all the things you would associate with a water sign, all the good and all the bad. And then same thing with our swords. They're how we speak, how we communicate, how we think. There are air signs. There are mind. The pentacles are our bodies and our health and our job, our career. There are earth signs. And finally, finally we have, the wands. The wands are our passions, they're our heart, they're our fire, they are the fire signs. So you can kind of put 2 and 2 together, it kind of makes it a little easier. So starting with the 4s. In numerology, 4 is a number of stability. It's all about confidence and solid ground, like your 4 walls and a roof, right? It's kind of what you think when you think of 4s. But it's very earthy, the number 4. So you're going to want to take all of the very earthy traits for better or for worse, and you're going to want to connect it to the number 4. So, that's going to be, again, all that stability, all that growth, all that grounding, but also slow to change and stubborn. Like I said, it's earth energy. A lot of the times 4 can mean perfectionism. It can mean lost opportunities due to being stuck in comfort. So there is nothing, I'm like touching my eyeball. There is nothing wrong with being comfortable. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if we get so comfortable that we kind of just stop moving because we're like, no, I'm comfortable and I like it here and I don't want new things. Now we're going to lose out on opportunities and we're only screwing ourselves over. So, that's going to be a big thing that we see. And the number 4 consistently is, if you stay still for too long, things are going to pass you by. We also see, I think I said perfectionism. We see perfectionism. There's also, whenever you see 4s, thinking on your feet is not advised. This is a time for plans. This is not a time for spontaneity. Why is it important to understand numerology? Well, it's important to understand what signs you're getting. Do you know how many people pull me aside and they're like, oh my God, I keep seeing 111 or 222 or 333 or 444 or 999, all these angel numbers. Oh my God, that's amazing. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. Have you Googled like what that means in numerology so you can get the message? And then I get blank stares. And I'm like, oh, so you've just been getting messages left, right, and center and you just haven't known. Okay. Like, cause so many people will see angel numbers and be like, oh, it's a sign, and then just take it and go. And it is a sign. You're right. But it's a message. It's not just like a wave. It's a message. Google what the numerology of that number means. You're seeing that specific number for a reason. Google what that number means. That's probably the message. If you're getting like 111s, 1111, well, not 11. If you're getting like 1111s, that's going to be that's probably your spirit team trying to reach out to you, probably trying to get your attention, telling you about spiritual awakening, stuff like that. If you're getting a lot of 4s, if you're getting 444, you might be being told to ground yourself. You might be being told to not be so stubborn about something. You might be being told not to think on your feet, not to be impulsive, plan, focus, lock in. So pay attention to what your signs actually mean. Don't just take your sign and go, because a sign, 9 times out of 10, it's a message, So Google it. Ask yourself if you're like, wow, I'm seeing a lot of 888. That's weird. I should Google that. Pay attention. There's probably a reason. Good example for me, I've always liked the number 6 and any derivative of it. 6s, 3s, 9s, 33, 66, 99, 63, any 36, any of those combos. I've always really, really liked that combination. And it was more and it was always about 6, right? I like 3 because it's a derivative of 6. I like 9 because, connected to 6. That's kind of 3, 6, 9. I was always into that number sequence going up in 3s. But 6 was my lucky number. And it's really funny because both the numbers 3 and 6 in numerology connect a lot to me as a person, what I'm healing, what I'm working on, what I'm trying to be. So it makes a lot of sense that I'm very attracted to the number 6. I'm very attracted to 3s and doing things in 3s and sequences of 3s, because that's just the messages that sit best with me and what I'm trying to learn. So pay attention to stuff like that. Now we're going to start with the 4 of Cups. I always start with the Cups, but I don't know. I'm stuck doing it, so it's how I do it now. So, breaking down all the symbolism on here. Obviously, we have our dude right here. And we see he sits on this hill and he is so engrossed in the 3 cups that are in front of him that he does not see this, right? This is totally lost on him. And not only this, and what's so funny is that this isn't just any cup, right? It's being divinely given to him by God or the universe or whatever you want to say. This is being quite literally handed to him. And honestly, he needs to focus on himself, which is right here, or at the bare minimum, he needs to pull away from these things so that he can even see this thing in the first place. Because this has been taking his attention for long enough. And it's causing him not to notice what's being offered. So upright, when we get this card, if you're into keywords, you're going to see things like meditation, contemplation, apathy, reevaluation, and new opportunities. Again, because those opportunities are there, even if we're not seeing them. So you may be finding new opportunities are making themselves known to you, but you might be turning them down. You might be saying no to them. And it's really important to know, why are you turning these opportunities down? Is your cup already full? And if so, that's okay. But you should just know why you're saying no to these things. Do these things not interest you? Again, if so, that's okay. You don't have to make yourself be interested in it, but just know why you're walking away. Is there too much on your plate? And that's why you're walking away. Ask yourself what is truly important to you. And it's going to require you to get contemplative, bring your energy inward, pull inward. You need to be on solid ground before you take your next step. That is a big part of how all of this works. You may need to decline some like really appealing opportunities in the future. Sometimes that's what happens with my Four of Cups. You know, we have to like turn down the sparkly, shiny thing in our face in order to get like the good thing that we really want that's like further down at the end of the road. You know, like I said, decline opportunities in order to open up room for ones that are more suited for us, things that are best for us. So like, don't take it just because it looks good. Even if you feel like if you feel even a little bit unsure, pause, look into it, you know? It's okay for something to like check all your boxes and for you to still not quite vibe with it. And, you know, if that's happening, again, ask yourself why. Pull inward, check in with yourself, and listen to it. If, you know, at the end of all of this, you decide that you want space and that even though it does look great on paper, it's just not for you and you don't want to take it, that's okay. Watch the universe reward you with, again, something that's much more for you. Now, you know, like I said, now's the time for reflection. You got to pull inward. This is like quiet contemplation. It's a very grounded card. You're also usually being told to like wait before you move on to the next big thing. You know, you might be bored or you might be dissatisfied with like life and what's going on. Sometimes with my Four of Cups, we feel apathetic. We feel disengaged. We might feel super unmotivated. We might feel kind of shut off from opportunities because look, right? He can be staring at this and being too focused that he doesn't see this, but also look at him. His arms are crossed, right? Those crossed arms could either be like, and like he doesn't notice, or those crossed arms could be, no, I don't want it. No. And like just not take, like being a brat and like not taking the opportunity. You know, we are allowed to do things for us. We're allowed to take these things for us. And, you know, like I said, even though this card doesn't want you to move just yet, you should think about where are you going? Do you want to go there? Why are you going that way? These are all things you should be asking yourself. Now, and also, you know, where are you not going? Why don't you want to go there? All those types of questions. Now, when this card is in reverse, we see, oh my goodness. Cannot stop yawning. Sorry, I'm a stickler with that. I was raised that is bad luck for someone to see you yawn. So if you are a keyword person, just like with upright, when this card is in reverse, we are going to see retreat and withdrawal. Try to say both those words at the same time. Checking in for alignment. Okay, bye. Usually that's what happens when this card is in reverse. You know, like we're trying to get back into alignment with ourselves. Usually with this card, oh my God. Oh, would y'all believe I had 3 Red Bulls? Not 3 Red Bulls, 2 Red Bulls and a coffee today. Would you believe? I wouldn't with how much I'm yawning. Oh my gosh. So when we get this card in reverse, we are often, you know, retreating into our inner world so we can focus on the things that ground us. And, you know, like I said, if upright, I'm telling you to retreat. Usually in reverse, you already kind of are getting there. Be careful not to shut yourself off from friends and family. That's really important. Retreat. Don't like shut yourself off. You know, let people know that you need alone time and know that like you will come out when you're ready, and that's okay. You are allowed to take space for yourself. You're not allowed to ghost people. That's an important difference. And a lot of people get that mixed up. They ghost and then they don't understand when other people are upset, or they're like, well, you can't be upset with me. I was going through it. And it's like, yeah, you can go through it. Just let people know that you're fucking off into the mountains for a little bit. It's okay. I'm really prone to ghosting. When I get overstimulated, upset, overwhelmed, I got 8 air sign placements, y'all. I will ghost. But it took I keep dropping these. It was a really hard habit to break, and it took a super long time. But I finally got there because I realized I couldn't just keep fucking off without telling people. They're going to worry, and I matter to people. So same thing with this 4 of Cups in reverse for you. You matter to people. Don't just ghost. If you need space, that's fine. Just tell everybody, and then check in with people while you're ghosted. You don't have to talk. It doesn't have to be a conversation. It can just be, hey, I am still alive. I still need time. I will see you later. There's nothing wrong with that. You are more than entitled to that. And the people around you, yes, in fact, have to respect your desire for that. Now, another thing with this card in reverse, if you are feeling withdrawn, don't force it. Don't make yourself go out and hang out with people and, try and be social. It's okay that like you're just not feeling it, and you shouldn't like have to make yourself. You don't have to do all that. You also might be feeling uninspired because again, we're tired. Usually when we have this card in reverse, you might be uninspired or maybe even like a little disillusioned. Sometimes when this card is in reverse, sorry, I heard a squeak. Sometimes when this card is in reverse, everything can seem hard. And usually we retreat instead of facing it head on, which is not great. These things are going to need our attention. And the more we stick our head in the sand, the more they're eventually going to come back for us and the bigger problem they're going to cause when they do come back. You might be reluctant to like talk about your feelings, open up, ask for help. And that also might be why you're isolating yourself, because you might be like, wow, if I talk to anybody, it's going to be about this, and I don't want to talk about this, so I'm just going to like isolate and pull back. Again, you can set boundaries. You can tell people, hey, I don't want to talk about this thing, or hey, I need space from this thing. They got to respect it. It's really important whenever you're isolating yourself. Usually whenever we're isolating ourselves, it is a defense tactic. It's because we're hurting. It's because we're sad. It's because we're trying to take care of ourselves, and that is all valid, and that is all a very fair way for our emotions to try to keep us safe. But we also have to consider how it's going to make other people feel. And that can be really hard when we are in the height of our own feelings, because I'm so upset and I just need to get out of here. The last thing I'm thinking about is how that's going to affect the people around me. Or I might think about it and then I might make an excuse. I might be like, oh, they won't care. It's fine. Even though you and I know damn well they're going to care. Come on. Of course they're going to care. But we might tell ourselves that they won't, and then we don't communicate. Consider the way that makes people feel. Consider how you feel when people just kind of up and ghost, or when they don't talk to you about things, or when you know something is wrong and they just won't tell you. Again, you can say, yeah, something's wrong, I don't want to talk about it right now. Or yeah, something's not right, I just don't want to face it right now, and I'll deal with it later. And that is okay, and it is much better than lying to people. There's nothing wrong with just going, yes, but please let's not talk about it right now. And again, they should respect that. And if they can't, that's a fault on them, and your boundaries in that relationship might need to tighten up. So keep an eye out for the Four Cups. Keep an eye out for the surrounding cards. It's going to help you kind of figure out where you're going and what all of it usually means half the time. The next one I'm going to start getting into is my Four of Swords. So if we're dealing with a yes or a no, it's a maybe. Oh, and I forgot. So is the Four Cups. Both of these are maybes. So if you're just pulling as a, should I get a bagel today? And you pull this card, it's a maybe. Four of Swords, also a maybe. Now, obviously on this symbolism, we have our knight, and he's dead. He's dead. It's a grave. That's a dead guy. And we can see, it has this beautiful ornate carving of him sleeping very, very, very peacefully. And while this all looks restful and peaceful, it took him dying to find rest. This is quite literally a I'll sleep when I'm dead type of situation. And why did he sleep when he's dead and not do anything else? Well, a few reasons. There was these swords up here, and these are the things that hung over him in life. These are, pressure and responsibilities and the things that we tell ourselves and self-limiting beliefs and all of these things. And then this sword that he's buried on top of down here, this is his single point of focus. His goal, whatever he worked towards. That's kind of what that is. He's literally buried on top of it. So upright, we're going to see things like rest, relaxation, meditation, contemplation, and recuperation. This is my take a nap card. I pull this for people. Half the time I'm telling you to take a goddamn nap. It's time, because it's time to rest. It is very much time to rest, because you're going to move on to the next big thing soon, and you need to rest and you need to sleep before you do that. Usually when the Four of Swords shows, Usually when the Four of Swords shows up, oh my gosh, usually whenever that shows up, we're about to go achieve a milestone, or we have just achieved a pretty important milestone, and we usually need to recharge our energy. Our battery's probably really close to dying. This is really good and really exciting, but again, our battery's probably close to dying. Anyone who's ever done anything like finished a course or school or training or anything like that, who's busted their ass, knows the feeling when they're done of like being so exhausted and done with the project, but also like so exhilarated and happy that it's done. That is the Four of Swords. And it's the reminder that when you're in that place, you need to rest before you move on to the next new thing. It's really easy to be on like a productivity high and be like, all right, where's the next thing I can sink my teeth into? It'll come. Sit down. Rest. You need it. You busted your ass, and that's a good thing, but your battery needs to recharge. You know, if you've been going through something difficult or traumatic, like a breakup or a family problem, this card's going to tell you to gain some new perspective. Now is really not the time to be making decisions. Stay silent and inactive. Ask yourself, is this the hill that you want to die on? Ask yourself if you're potentially okay with this relationship being put to sleep. Very similar to like, you know, we don't get rest until we're dead. We don't get reconciliation until we're dead. Ask yourself if like that's what you're okay with in this relationship. Now, like I said, not a time to be making any decisions. Stay silent and inactive. You are feeling a need for seclusion, and honestly, you should listen to it. Review your progress, see where you've been before you get anywhere near focusing on where you're going. Now, when this card is in reverse, we're going to see words like exhaustion, burnout, deep contemplation, a lot of stagnation, overworking, withdrawal, and low energy. You probably need an escape when I pull this card in reverse. It's really important to, again, pull in, to recover. Usually, like, if I pull this card upright, I'm telling you to do this, or I'm suggesting that you do this. If I pull this card in reverse, you have not heeded my advice, and now you really need to do it. So, you know, there is no, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Pause and rest now. You have probably been overdoing it because you have this like one singular focus, and that's all you're looking at, and that's all you're going towards, and it's taking up like all of your time and attention. And it's something that, you know, you're probably not thinking long term. You're looking at like getting it accomplished, or maybe you are thinking long term, but again, you're thinking long term in the terms of the goal and not like you and your health and your productivity. Pull back, conserve your energy. If you have not hit burnout yet, you fucking will if you don't heed my words and slow down by the time this Four of Swords shows up. So if you find yourself pulling the Four of Swords in reverse, you probably got to pump your brakes a little bit. Next, the Four of Pentacles. If you're looking for a yes or a no, this is a no. Very big no. Now, obviously, for our symbolism, we have our dude, our guy, and he's sitting on this chair here, and is he gripping onto this pentacle. The way he's like full Gollum, like precious, like fully holding on to this fucking thing. Oh my gosh. He is holding on. And this is meant to show he's afraid of losing it. You don't hold on to shit like that if you're confident it's not going anywhere, you don't hold on to shit like that. Because you know it's not going anywhere. You know you don't need to grip it. You know that you don't need to white knuckle it because you know it's not going anywhere. You don't hold on to stuff like this that you're confident about. So there's a big fear. Maybe he's not confident that these coins are his. Maybe he hasn't like fully come to that realization yet. Maybe he's scared he's going to lose them, or someone's going to take him, or something's going to happen. But no matter what, he is gripping onto this. And, you know, he has obviously made an attempt to protect the rest of his coins. These two are under his feet, so nobody can take them. And they also, as you can see, interrupt his feet touching the ground, which get in the way of his grounding process. He cannot put his feet on the floor. He cannot ground. He is blocked. Blocked by what? Money. Coins, the desire for more, the desire to hoard and protect. And not only is that his feet, it's also his head. You can see he's got this coin balanced up here on top of his head. That's his crown. That's the crown chakra. That's the third cauldron. If you're like Celtic, that's kind of what we're looking at here. And with this coin here, it is cut off and it is blocked and it is being intercepted, again, by a coin, because there's all of this money and all of that's kind of right in the front of the brain and right on the mind. Also, this castle and community that are far, 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 far behind him in the background, we can assume one of two things have happened in this situation. Either they have moved on and they have left him behind, and he just has stayed there holding on to his coins, not moving while they pack up and go, or he's left them behind in the attempts to hold his coins tighter and make them and keep them and all of those things. I think we're seeing the metaphor now at this point. So upright, saving money, security, control, conservatism, a scarcity mindset sometimes. If you pull this card has its good news. This card is like financial stability, all of that, but also you are probably being like demanded to examine your relationship with money. Are you saving and are you living your life, or are you just saving? Are you always afraid of losing money? And like, look, that's fair. We live in a time where like money's so weird and scary and everything's intense right now. No one's ever going to blame any of that energy. But it can't be this death grip over your life. You know, this card can also show wealth and abundance but like you get that wealth and abundance by having steady focus, by having goals, by acting conservatively, by like focusing and like really kind of like going into it. This card can also suggest a scarcity mindset, which is kind of what I was talking about. It's coming from the place of, oh, I don't have this and I need it. Or like, oh, I'm going to lose it, so I need to protect it. Instead of like, no, I have this, I don't need that. Or like, no, I'm okay. It's coming from the scarcity mindset. It's why, and the universe doesn't like to work on scarcity mindset. It's why, so many people, you hear people talk about it in the like lens of relationships, and you also hear people talk about it in like the lens of spirituality. What do you hear with relationships? Oh, I found them when I stopped looking. Or, with spirituality, oh, this gift developed when I stopped begging for it. Yes, because we're coming from a scarcity mindset. We're going to the universe going, please, please, please send me a partner. I can't love myself enough without them. And the universe goes, no, absolutely not. Love yourself enough on your own so that you don't need shit. And then once you're there, then sure, that was not somebody. Because that's how it works. So get out of your scarcity mindset. You might be stockpiling. I like to call it dragon hoarding, just like keeping all your money and literally, again, dragon hoarding it, doing exactly what it kind of sounds like. Instead of enjoying yourself, you're hoarding. You also probably value money and your possessions maybe like a little bit too much. There's a good chance you connect a lot of your self-worth to like how much money you make and like how productive you are and what you earn. And it's really important that you really kind of correct your relationship with the financial and with the material. Because like money is something that should be respected. Absolutely. But we can't lose sight of like the things that are actually important. Money is just a tool to help with those things that are important. And if we forget that part of the equation, if money becomes the thing that is important, then that's when we get that soul-sucking cycle where we're not satisfied, we're not happy no matter how much money's in our bank account, no matter how much we buy. It's like this short little dopamine burst, and then it goes away, and then we're doing it again. Because that's not consistent, that's not a respectful, healthy relationship with money. Practice money management, practice self-control. It's usually needed. Now, when this card is in reverse, we see overspending, a whole hell of a lot of overspending. Greed. Oh my God, now I have hiccups. Y'all, I can't win. I cannot win, guys. First it was the yawning, then it was the hiccups, God. Now, overspending, greed, self-protection, reevaluate what is important, especially money, especially how high it is on your list, especially your relationship with it. Too much value on money or possessions can corrupt us. And honestly, with my 4 of coins in reverse, there's a good chance you have been putting too much value on it, and you might be realizing that it hasn't made you happy, or it's not gonna make you happy, and like money is very slowly not really becoming a priority anymore at the top of your list, which is great. This can also suggest money quite literally slipping through your fingers. I mean, if it's not what I said before, look at it. He's literally like losing all the coins. It's like it's like the cartoons when they pick somebody up by their ankles and shake them and take all their lunch money. That's kind of what happens when this card is in reverse. It's quite literally slipping through our fingers and losing it. How is it slipping through our fingers? We could be overspending, maybe consciously, maybe subconsciously. And again, we're probably doing it to make ourselves happy, or probably doing it to like fill a hole. But it's only going to lead to more stress. Honestly, when you get this card in reverse, keep an eye out for the Devil card, because the Devil card is all about doing too much of something, going too far, addiction, overdoing it, hedonism, like over-exaggerating our pleasures. That's kind of what we really see with this card when it sits in that situation. So keep an eye out for the Devil card, because sometimes with this card in reverse, the Devil card's not far behind, because it's kind of telling you, like, yeah, you need to pump your brakes, dude. Is your quest for money actually helping? Has your love of money turned to greed? At what cost do you want more? And at what cost are you willing to get more? And why do you want more? These are all really important to ask yourself. Like I said, is your quest for money actually helping? Is it fixing anything? Like, look, I have a friend of mine who legitimately is like, no, the entire source of my stress is this one financial issue, and fixing that will literally make me feel better. That is not the same thing as making money makes me feel better, or making money makes that go away. That's not the same thing. What he's saying is fixing that problem that is causing me stress will make me feel better. Just because that problem is directly connected to money doesn't mean the money is what's making him feel better. So it's really important, again, it's the problem going away. It's the stress depleting. So that's really the big point. Make sure that we're healing for that. We might be in self-defense mode when this card is in reverse. Usually there's a really strong desire for stability and security, because when we're in reverse like this, there's literally none. So usually there's this big push for things to just fucking be normal. Also, you might be someone who tries to control your inner environment to make the outside feel safe. So make sure you're not being too controlling, both to yourself and to other people. It's important not important. It's fair to want to control your surroundings and want to control your environment. It's incredibly human. But also we can't do that. It's not good for us. God, we're already on the wands. Holy crap. Damn. This might be a shorter class than normal. This might be like a 40-minute class. 45 instead of like an hour. That goes by quick. The 4s went by fast. It's funny, because I have and now I'm coughing. It's always something. These are my notes, right? And it was funny because when I was writing my notes for the aces, for the 2s, for the 3s, for the 4s, there's not a whole lot in each card, because right now, we're kind of dealing with like earlier concepts, so they're not getting too deep. But now, I'm writing the 6s, the 7s, the 8s, the 9s, the 10s, and like that's like a page and a half for every single card, because they're so much more detailed. So I'm like forgetting that the earlier cards go by so quick. It's so funny. So with my 4 of Wands, if you're asking it a yes or no question, this is a yes. This is a very, very, very big yes. This is the only 4 that's just a flat yes. The other 2 are no's and one's a maybe. This is a straight yes. So obviously with this card, very different energy than the other ones. Some of the other ones kind of focused on 4's fear of change, or 4's stubbornness, or 4's materialism. This one's going to focus on 4's stability. So with my 4 of Wands, if I say that word one more time, it's going to start sounding weird. So with the of Wands, For our symbolism, we see this is a celebratory card. This is fun. There's joy. It looks like a party's going down. This is very reminiscent of the Three of Cups with those three women dancing in a circle. So this is obviously a much different vibe than we see in the other cards. There's satisfaction, there's celebration, there's happiness, there's togetherness. We see a big old castle and all of these flowers and dancing. These are all symbols of abundance and achievement and joy being cheered on. And that's kind of the point. This whole card is meant to give off vibes of celebration, of fun, of safety, of comfort, and of home and family. It's pretty simple. There's not really too much else to kind of break into it. It's very, we have this other little group in the back. They're celebrating here. These two people are celebrating. It's a big old party. Upright, celebration, joy, harmony, relaxation, homecoming, and appreciation for the good things in life. We see in this card a lot. Celebrate with who you love most. Commemorate an important milestone. Usually with this card, we see weddings, we see anniversaries, we see birthdays, we see reunions. You are probably returning home to what's familiar. This is a card that promises we will feel supported and secure and taken care of. You're with those who love and care about you, which is why this card has so much joy and so much relief in it. This can also sometimes show home renovations, a new home, rapid growth and expansion, especially of your house. I said this takes all of the promises in the Three of Wands and gets it places. Although, with all this energy, it's also time to pause and celebrate what you have achieved so far. Acknowledge the fruits of your labor, acknowledge your hard work. This is a very exciting card. If I have people come in and say, well, we're really trying to sell our house and, I'm nervous, or we're going to do this renovation, I don't know how it's going to go. My Four of Wands is oh my God, this is going to be great. And you have every reason to party. This is going to be amazing. If it's a relationship, it shows you guys are going to move into a next step, which is huge and exciting. It's all just good, happy vibes. I love the Four of Wands. Acknowledge your hard work and know that, like I said, that important milestone is totally coming. This card promises stability, happiness, security, and not only that stability exists everywhere. That stability is with your job, with your family, with your relationships. It's fully across the board, which is lovely. Now, when this card is in reverse, we see personal celebration, inner harmony, transition, conflict with others sometimes. We also see achieving personal goals. So if upright, this is family goals. This is weddings and babies and, new apartments and all of that stuff. When it's in reverse, this is a you goal. This is a 30-day challenge. Maybe you hit your goal weight, maybe a sobriety thing, whatever. This is a you thing. There is often no feeling to brag, though, despite the fact that this is a really good thing for us. It's funny because up here, when it's upright, we're sharing it, we're celebrating it, and we're not bragging in a bad way, but we're definitely kind of bragging because we definitely deserve it. When it's in reverse, there's not really much of a need to. We are pretty content celebrating this achievement on our own, and we don't really need that external validation because, again, this is a big personal thing. We don't need to go to other people and be do you see how hard I worked? Do you see, did I do a good job? Because we know we worked hard and we're seeing the fruits of our labor. We know we did a good job because we're seeing our reward, and we can just give ourselves that, and that's okay. If you're chasing your goal, this is a sign to keep going. Keep on trucking. It is going to be worth your effort. You are going to see it pay off. This will bring very much a newfound sense of balance. What I like so much about the Four of Wands in reverse is that it's this feeling of coming home to yourself and feeling safe with yourself and being with just you. But, nobody's perfect. Every card has a shadow side. Even the lovely Four of Wands. This card's shadow side will show a lack of harmony or a breakdown in communication, especially in the home, especially with family. A lot of the times we might get caught up in other people's concerns, and it can leave us unsure on who to depend on, who to go to. When this card is in reverse, we see painful or difficult transitions in the family and home. And again, this can cause discomfort or upheaval. You know, these multiple changes are important, but they usually tend to leave us unsettled, out of balance, a little worried about the future. But pay attention to surrounding cards. If you get this card and if you see death or the tower or any of the, yeah, sure, now we can start thinking it's probably that. But if you see this card and you see the 10 of coins or the 10 of wands, not the 10 of wands, the 10 of cups, or, you know, the 8 of coins or the 9 of coins, if you see any of like the achievement cards next to this, give them a high five. They've busted their ass and they deserve some recognition for what they did. So that is it for today. I will get into the fives next week. I will give a little brief intro on what 5 is in numerology, because we went a little early because the 4s are short, so we have just enough time. So, the 4s are all about stability, and in a positive way they bring stability. In a negative way, they bring being too stable and too comfortable and starting to like grow cobwebs because like we're not doing what we need to do to let ourselves move and heal, and because every number bleeds into the other. If we sit in the 4 for too long, the 5 will inevitably come for us. And the 5 is a turning point. It is a catalyst. It's excitement and adventure and variety and like it's all this crazy shit. It's also a little directionless or unreliable or reckless or unpredictable. The number 5 is like the death card and the tower card kind of like smushed together. It's losing, it's, going back to go forward, losing something to gain something, creation through destruction. It cuts off dead weight. It's like all of that shit. So we're going to get into the 5s next week and all of their crazy, chaotic, upheaving energy because they're not bad. Like I say this about every card. We are not allowed to be afraid of a goddamn piece of paper. We are not going to be scared of a tarot card just because it potentially brings hard lessons. And half the time, we are only afraid of it because we don't understand it. So it's my job to kind of help us get there. So we will get into the 5s, as scary as they may seem, next Saturday. I will see you guys then, and it will already be September, which is so weird. I can't believe we're in Virgo season already. I want to like panic or pass out or throw up or all three. I don't know where time went. But take good care of yourselves, everybody. I will see y'all in a week. Thank you for stopping by.